Yo, yo. All right. We're just gonna do a little quick Sunday night not recap, but review maybe of last week, and we can maybe make some predictions on what might happen Monday and throughout the next week. So here's what happened Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Okay, so this is last week Friday. All right, so on May 12th, which I think was Monday, let me just make sure that's right real quick. Nope, the May 12th. I mean, May 13th. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, this is May 13th right here. So, May 13th, and then last week, Friday. So, we're at 52.50. So, looks like we ran through that price, then came back to it, and then rejected off it right here. So, let's go based off that right there. So right up on Sunday night last week, so this is Monday right here. Monday, we had this strong run up. Right, we had this strong run up Monday. We broke through 52.60, and then maybe trying to see if we can hold 52.50 as support. So right up at the open, there's really not much, but just a strong run up, pushing out of 52.40. So a bit of a rounding off bottom right here. If you can see, bit of a rounding off bottom. These pivots right here rounded off and then started going higher. So maybe this is the low. This is like an established low that doesn't want to go below that. And then this yellow is a bit of an overrun. So we'll just keep the low there. And then pretty nice strong run up to start off Monday. So we've been having, let's see, a run up and then regular pullbacks to the mid band. Probably looking for a deeper one at this point. 51.60, so 52 down there. We'll see what the open is. A bit of a slowdown right there, but with this run up, it kind of broke that curve of having that, I guess, angle to it. A little bit of a curve. Uh, the curve is difficult to explain, but for now, I'll just use this white line. So kind of broke that. You kind of don't really want to look for anything long because that frequency or that curve line kind of broke itself. So waiting for something deeper, and then so it might want to retest this starting off the week on Monday. So let's see if it retested that real quick all the way down. So I retested it, kind of went through a little bit. At this point, we're just waiting to see what the market wants to do because it's pretty much a big pullback right there. Let's see. It's about 50% of that pullback. So we're going to see what the market wants to do. It's starting to stabilize a little bit down here. So if you want to maybe take a long, at this point, it's kind of stabilizing. You might want to take a long somewhere. Maybe right there is a good long. Right there's a good long. See if we can at least retest 52.60 and then maybe make a new high. So that's right now. This is our high up here. I can get rid of this real quick. This is our high, a bit of a not resistance just yet, but not an established resistance. But you know, there might be some sellers up there, but it is the local high so far. Okay, if I can get this right around there. So we take a long right there, trying to retest that up there. See if we can try to get up here somewhere. And this is a pretty shitty, excuse my language, this is a pretty bad signal for you if you're in a long, pretty strong run negative towards you. So this is a strong run against you, strong run down. You can tell that they were trying to push it up here. We have a nice strong run with some strength right there, and then it stabilized, try to gather some more strength, and nothing materialized from all these buyers down here. And is an effort to go up here. It failed, and that's the first sign of failure, which broke all these pivots at the same time. There's a pivot here, here, and there. So broke that. Let's see if it can hold below 52.50, and maybe we're possibly gonna start testing down to 42.40. And then so we got some sellers stepping in right there. And let's see. So this is getting a little bit dragged out to be coming now into a box. So if you want to short, you want your risk to be very tight. It starts to become a little bit 50-50, but there's a lot of people gathering up in this space. So, you know, there's a pop coming, whether it's to the upside or down. So there's a pop coming here soon. You know, a little dragged out still in that little box there. And then so they try to go below. Let's see if we can go back up. And finally we get that pop to the downside. So it seemed like it tried to break out right here, and then zoomed up one more time just to maybe stop these sellers there, or people were buying, but try to get somebody out, some people out a little bit, and then didn't break any of these highs, so held to the tick. Let's color change that real quick. I'm gonna try to speed run this so we can just get to our prediction, which will be towards the end. So didn't break any of these highs there. Try to almost like a fake out right there. Then finally we broke down to the bottom, so exactly to 42.40 there, and now we're looking maybe to go down lower if we start to break price. Our next extended target would be down here, and then if anything to 42.40. And then if we look to Friday, we have these lows, which it started to stabilize right here, so we'll keep that in mind. So we're gonna keep going a little bit here. So let's see if we can. Another short here is fine. We do have the strength to the downside. Let's just keep in mind that there is might be some pretty strong support right here. If we cannot break that, then we'll see what the market decides and how that looks. So we get this pretty strong reaction off of 52.40. But let's see if we can't hold 52.50 still. So another short right here, just because 52.50 is a pretty strong price, but to maybe retest this one more time to see if we don't want to break that, or see if we can get any closer to the prices from Friday, the lows from the Friday last week. Let's see. So we do test one more time, and we have very extreme strong strength. So it didn't go from here, which it could have. It could have gone from there, but then we wanted, I guess, it decided to test this price one more time, and it's strong. So shorts on the table right now, and see what it does to this price right here, and it just smashed that through that. So you can now delete that. That price doesn't matter. And we are looking for, like I said earlier, our targets, which are 42.30 and below, which is 42.20. And then we get something, a similar pattern along this V right there. Let's see if it kind of gives us that little fizzle. Nope, not the same pattern. But if you're looking at it real time, it's starting that right about there. It looks about the same pattern. So if you kind of notice that what it did on the last time, it retraced all the way to previous resistance. So maybe it wants to retrace a little higher. Which was about 10 points of retracement. So let's see how much it retraced. 12 points there. And let's see if we are gonna go lower. So here it's starting to look a bit of a phobo below these prices down here, the 52.40 price. But our low is down here, a V shape, which is pretty strong of a reaction. It's almost I'm gonna guess it's 75% of a retracement there. Let's see. Yeah, so it retraced about 75%, which is a strong retracement. You don't want to really see that. 50% is pretty much the most you want to see. And then it reclaimed 5240, and let's see if it starts to stabilize a little bit, which it seems like it is here. It's starting to have these pivots. Keep it right there. It's starting to have these pivots where it's these pivots in there and that one right there. So it's starting to maybe trying to build a shelf and see if we cannot test 4260 up above, since it's kind of a phobo. It almost feels like it overshot itself. It just wanted to retest that one more time, maybe go higher. So we'll see what the market wants to do. We're waiting for a long to see if we can go back up, but we kind of need to break 5250. So there's another V-shaped reaction, which is good because it's towards the upside, which we just had a huge one there. Kind of one right there, not the best. Yeah, we'll see. If you want to take a long, you're gonna want to take a long. No, that's not the right one. Kind of kind of see if as close as the bottom you can get it, or wait for a strong run up, maybe something like that. Break a couple of these pivots over here because it's still momentum overall to the downside pretty much. It's starting to switch, so maybe you're gonna want something that you break these highs and maybe stabilize at 5250. So we see that gave us towards the end of the day. So it looks like it's starting to stabilize itself right above 4240, and that's the end of Monday. So now it's going to Tuesday, and I'm speed running this because I just want to get it up there. Okay, so it's stabilizing right here, so kind of going sideways, right? So there's a bit of a decision that needs to be made whether we're going to continue to downside or test this price up here at the very least, or reclaim 5250. So let's see what happened on Tuesday, and we get a huge drop towards the downside, which it seemed like it wanted to get above here, but then it just slammed right back down. So kind of giving us a gap right there. Let's just go right to the open, giving us a gap right here, which was immediately fixed. So this gap was closed by the start of the next day. So Tuesday, pre-market was already closed. I don't really know what to think about this because if you look at it, it's overall momentum to the downside, but we do have one of these like where it just kind of wanted to test price without nobody knowing, or something weird, and then towards the upside. So this is very steep action towards the upside, with the gap already kind of closed. So it doesn't need to do that anymore. So the market, maybe you're gonna want to maybe wait to see it break 5250 with some strength, and then come back and maybe back test that and maybe go along so we can go back to the upside again. We're gonna just have to wait because right now it's in the middle. It's kind of in the limbo of these two prices right here. So we do have this strong run up. We have an attempt here. This is an attempt right here to break it. It failed, kind of retraced and broke the previous low, but it stabilized nonetheless and stabilized in deeper pullback area anyways. So here's that move we might be looking for. We were looking for more strength. If we can get us more strength, because at this point right here, it's a bit of just a poke, and we're not really interested in that. It's not very significant. It's not very something that, it's swaying you one way or another. So if you do look at it like this though, and you cut it off from right there, we are starting to trend up higher with a little bit of a sideways action up to this point, but We'll see if this move is convincing or it just looks like a poke and it maybe wants to fail. And it's not very convincing here because it hasn't reclaimed it or stayed above that. So if you're looking for a long, you're gonna be wanting to take it as deep as you can. If you're convinced that, hey, yeah, we are gonna be up here. As right now, I'm looking for something strong, a strong move to tell me, hey, just because of this mess right here. So looking for a strong move. That's the strong move that I would consider right there. This is what I'm looking for. So we have now 1, 2, 3 strong moves, and I'm looking to take a long, and I'll take it somewhere here. And it failed, which is perfectly fine. And then comes back to these lows. You might be thinking to try to take another one down here, and that one works out. So we do have these strong moves up. 1, 2, 3 strong moves up. I'll be willing to take a long right there because it can zoom from there, and it didn't. Wanted to come back deeper, just probably maybe test this support or maybe like these little swap zones. So it could be that it's looking at. It's like that. So we do have resistance right there, and then it finally breaks through, starts to hold it on that side as support. So you might take another trade right here. I probably would. And then trying to get up to here to 52.60. And it goes right to it. At this point, kind of you have to wait for a new idea because yeah, momentum is up, but the idea you just had is over. And we do have to keep in mind that this is over here. So shall see what happens. If you do want to continue to trade with the momentum, you have to look for very good prices. So once it did that, zoomed here, came all the way back to 52.50 and broke below. And this is why I say you have to wait for a new idea, because this idea of coming to 52.60 already happened. And unless we start seeing very strong momentum, or more, not very strong, but more trend to the upside, then you can start taking more longs. But at this point, we're waiting to see if that's what it wants to do. It might have exhausted all its buyers here just in that move, and it looks like it just wanted to do that and just touch that price. So here we're back to our little support area, and this would be like the last stand pretty much. If it can't hold here, then we're in big trouble, and we're gonna start looking for more shorts. So it looks like it might want to come back here and do something like that. And if not, it's gonna hold. I can't grab that thing. It might hold, start holding these as resistance, because it's like a swap zone right now. Almost, I would definitely try to take this short if I can get it filled. Maybe probably won't be filled, but something like that. And then I'd probably definitely be filled right there. To see just if we can't go lower, because it kind of failed to continue higher. We have this strong run down. We have some sellers that didn't materialize, but this is a deeper pullback and maybe wants to go down. So let's see. Nope, that's not happening either. And then now we're starting to be in a territory where it's kind of chopping a little. It's kind of chopping a little bit here. Let's see. So it should have came down at the very least from here, but didn't. It gave us a nice strong push through that price, and it might be chopping around 52.50 until it decides what it wants to do. So in this case, I would mark this as my high and this as my low for the session, and we're working within this range. If it starts to range, then the way you start trading is going to become different, or at least your entries and your ideas will become different. You're no longer trading with the trend, you're trading the structure, which can become a range based structure, and those trades are different. So it's no longer trending. So let's see if we can get something up here at the very least to come back down, vice versa. So if not, we'll just stay away from that. But let's continue on. So right now we're looking like we're sideways a little bit. Here are our lows, here is the highs, and we're in between. Just kind of going just as low and just as high between 52.50. So I bet you if I get a ruler on here, 7 points, 7 points. So it's stuck around this number, and it's we're probably gonna be stuck sideways for a little bit until we see something we like, something significant. So this isn't anything. This is just a bit of a poke, bit of overreach, and if you're looking to maybe place a long here, sure, just you might have to have at least a 4 point stop, maybe get below 42.40 at least by 1 point. See if we can get back up here, since we know we're kind of raging or ranging, not raging is what you do on the weekends. Maybe to see if we can get back up there, and it zooms right towards that. So we're definitely in a range. We might not stay in here for long. This might be your only opportunity to take that type of trade in this structure. So we'll see what happens. You can tell people are exiting here, they're getting out their trades, they're shorting or doing whatever at this previous high. So, and the reason why the long is more compelling is because it has the bias of being strong towards the up, not strong, but trending earlier to the upside. Yeah, so trending higher since the open. So it does have that bias. So usually when that structure starts to pop up, I would go with the bias of what it was doing earlier that day. So yeah, you might take that long and get quite a few points if you kind of know your exit, which is about 50 points, which is cool. Um, then we break out of that range. Okay, so we break out that range and we have some strength to the upside, and it broke right here, broke through that's whatever that high this is from Monday. I think it was Monday. Yeah, that's Monday. So yesterday. So broke through that. Now we're looking for breakout trades, and the only one you're really gonna get is this shallow pullback. It's not the best because it's not really a slowdown. What I would look for is a little bit deeper right to here, and then maybe take some longs and go all the way higher, which it did. So it reached already 49.70, and our next target, if it really wants to and has enough strength, is 28.80. And here are some longs, maybe here, this one and this one maybe to see, and that works out for about a few points, not all the way to that, but hey, you get some points at that. And it looks like the market is looking a little like it wants to stabilize, but we do need sort of a deeper pullback. Let's see what happens, or at least establish this shelf before it goes any higher, maybe. See, so we're kind of nice right here. So this is what you want to see, kind of it coming back to that shelf and finally making that push up. But you can see people are interested in it going long right here. People are buying all right here. And let's see. And it's towards the end of the day, but I do think we're gonna get up there. And we do try. And the end of day market. So we do try to get 52.80. And now we're looking at Wednesday of last week. So our last idea was to get to this price, and it does that and more, which is very aggressive here. This is very strong price. So this is about a 30-point move over the night. So once it does that, this is a bit of a gap and ugly price that it usually likes to fill in. So it filled in about that much. We have this much left to fill, but we do have extremely strong momentum to the upside. And the only thing that bad about this is as it touched 5,300 already, so that might just been the quota that I wanted to do and the number I wanted to hit. So it already hit our target. Or if you were looking past this number, then 5,300 is very attractive. It's not ultimate, but it's a round number. It's 100 of a round number. So 5,300, it tagged that, and we'll see what it wants to do. But at the very latest, momentum's to the upside. So maybe longs, unless your idea is to come back and fill this gap. So it touched and then retraced, and we're almost about to open. Where's the open? Here's about to open. So we do have, maybe it wants to stabilize at 42.90. You might try a long here if you can get deep enough. Remember, this is your last pivot here. So if you can get at least a point behind that, so let's just say 3-4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4 points. So if you want to at least get some there, around there, this seems like it's almost close enough. You might have gotten filled, and it kind of leaves without you unless you're picking these up and putting a stop somewhere down here. You might not get 2 points below that last pivot, but at least 1 point is fine. So we're looking for a long to see if we can at least get up to here one more time and break that. Let's see what happens. So we took the long, goes to it, and it seems like it can, because we have a pretty strong retracement which holds and goes right back up to it, and it just smacks this wall and starts to go lower. So this was our last shelf support area. So what might happen is we might break that, retest that, and come back lower and fill this gap. Maybe, we don't know. So it breaks this pivot, which is pretty important because it kind of made us the new high. So it breaks the pivot by a little bit, but we still have these pivots down here, which are even more important because it's kind of holding it right now. It's the shelf that it's been building itself right here. Maybe go like this if you wanted to, something like that, something like that. So it broke the pivot by a little bit, then came back up and gave us an equal pivot there. So then finally breaks. So let's see if the market does one of those where it just breaks that previous shelf or pivot and holds the one right behind it, the latter one. So it might hold this and then go back up. And it's still not considered broken. It's kind of just poking, which is not too bad. Yeah, we can move this down since it's closing the gap there. So that's how much left is left to fill. So it didn't break. It almost felt like, well, it did want to. It's not almost felt like it did want to break here, and it didn't. So it had 1, 2, 3 tries to break below, and it just poking our little area there, a little last pivot shelf that it's creating itself. Me that over real quick. Okay, and then so it didn't break just yet, and it's holding, and it's pulling itself out the gutters right here, pulling itself out. And let's see if we can just break that. I would take this long because it is a second chance to break out. So let's see. Maybe that's what I was looking at when I was trading this day. We're looking for something. So yep. It's kind of something you're looking for, just like a second time, the charm or second chance for it to break this area at the very least, because you do have this strong run up. It's not the strongest, but it's a strong run. It's, you know, maybe stronger than this run at the very least, maybe kind of. But it's giving you a run up at it. So this is a deeper pullback, and maybe take a long with about like 3 points of a stop. Let's see if we can't break that and give you some points, and we can head maybe all the way to 43.20 at the very least, 43.10. Price is struggling. There's another chance for you to get on board here to see if you want to break. And it does finally, and we get all the way up to, these are all good longs here. There's another good long right there. This is shallow pullback long. These are shallow pullback longs, and then let's see if we can get up here to 43.20. Just shy. Let's keep going, keep going. It's starting to establish itself a little base right here. So let's see. Has it been doing like a range extension maybe, where it's kind of building itself up a little bit, kind of? So you kind of get a run, retracement, another run, builds itself up, another run, builds itself up, and then this is about a bit of a poke, so nothing to worry about. It's really not breaking anything there. Bit of a poke right there. Here's a poke. Nothing to be worried. Still holding above 43.10, and you might want to take these longs somewhere around there. And we finally get up to 43.20, which for me, I'm done trading for the day. It's been doing all the things that I expect the market to do. So maybe our next target at the very least extended up here to 43.40 and 43.33. But for me, market doing what it did already. So maybe, I don't know, still looking for longs. You're probably burnt out at this point, but here's another long opportunity right there. Here's another long. These are all long opportunities if you're able to hold your stop below that price of 43.20. I mean 53.20, and then to see if we can get up here, which the market looks like it's very, very willing to do. And we get up there to the tick, and then we get a retracement, more pivots here. So it's kind of stacking itself up here, but it's not the best. Looks like it might want to break that and then retest this 43.20 and decide if it wants to continue higher or start cooling off. And so it looks like it kind of holding. Didn't break yet. So we might get one final push at the end of the day to go up here, but I don't know if they still have the strength to do it. And kind of going sideways here now. This is sideways action. And then looks like the market has enough energy to go to it. So where were we at? We're right here. So the market looks like these are all longs that you might want to hold though. And I'll stop down there to go up at the very least. If you can get this long in, at the very least, if you're not willing to hold all the way to 43.40, hold it to 43.33, or yeah, 53.33, 53.30. You're saying 33. Hold it up to at least this price, and it gives you a beautiful exit there. And then maybe if you see a nice slowdown, something like that, or here. If you want to push all the way up to 43.40, 53.40, then it's fine. The market tries shy by about 3 points there, and then the market's gonna want to cool off for sure. So we get these strong retracements down. This is kind of our last shelf here, so it's probably gonna retrace all the way down here, where the last buyers were pronounced or were seen anywhere. Then the market ends and we go all the way to, it actually prints 43.40, 50. I don't know. Fuck, I keep saying that. 53.40. Just trying to speed run. So we're barely on Wednesday, finally on Thursday. So we are finally here on Thursday, and the market pulls back deeper towards the end of the day and actually prints 53.40, which is cool. Cool to see that. So that's one of the goals. Right above that, it's 58.350. So it's another target we're looking at. If the market continues higher, we can expect it to go there. Let's see how long I've been going for. I've been trying to keep this, it's pretty long. I was trying to keep it like at least 10-15 minutes, but I am not that fast of explaining. Try my best. 40 minutes, and for the past 40 minutes I covered 3 days, about to cover the fourth, which is okay. I guess it's about 15 minutes per day almost. All right. So now we're here, just below 53.50. There might be something there, but the actual one is down here. So it looks like it just moved up just a little bit. This shelf moved up just a little bit, so we have this strong run up. Can't get past 43.40, so there might be some early sellers from here already early to sell. So there might be lots of sellers already pronounced themselves. And then let's see. So at this point, what would you do? Well, we had a retracement all the way down to 53.30. I think I'm just gonna wait a little bit, because it can come all the way down to 53.20, and it maybe just wants to bounce in between these two prices. I guess I'm just gonna wait. A bit of a sideways action. So at this point, not only am I waiting, but I guess the market is waiting as well. So at this point, we're probably expecting maybe a pop up or a pop down. It has to do something, or it can continue going sideways. So continue to go sideways for a little bit longer. We're still looking for a pop up or down at this point. It's 50-50. It's whatever. It's not what we're looking for. We'll get that pop down, and then we come right back up. So this is a bit of a fake out right here. So we pop down, and then we back up. So I was looking for a long, if I can get it somewhere. Okay, so maybe a shallow pullback, but I would want it to come at the very least to the top of this box. So let's see. At the very least, I would want to take a long there, but it seems like the market's not giving me any choice, and we're already at previous highs. But shallow pullback with a point of a stop, maybe, but it looks like it wants to round over, so probably not. Looking if I can get it deeper, but it does look like it can go from here and pop. But if I can get it deeper and then go, that'd be perfect. Okay, now I'm just looking for a retracement, and it kind of just went without me already, so I'm not interested in any longs after it reached that price. Yeah, if you're quick on the trigger here, these, and then maybe here and here. I just kind of needed to come back and test the top of the box one more time for me, and then but it just went without me, which is fine. And then it did that. Mission completed. So we're waiting for a new idea, something new. Let's see. And then this is the top of the box. And this is the lows from the end of the end of Wednesday. So it looks like it's holding 53.40. Let's see. Kind of giving us a lower high there. Okay, so now we're just kind of going lower. So I hate this thing. Okay. So a lower high and lower low with some strength. So we did have this strong run up at it again. So wait, strong run down, pretty strong run down, stabilize itself above this, or not above, but at the price of 53.40, and gave us a valiant try, a good try. And it didn't. We have a strong rundown, very sharp rundown. Then consolidated. If you're quick, these are some good shorts. If you can decide that, hey, it failed. And this is the short that I'll be looking for about of a point of a stop. So very small. About like that. Oh. I'll click that real quick. Okay, apply. Good. But of a point of a stop, maybe a little bit more, maybe like 1.5 or something. To see if we can't just go all the way down to 43.30 and maybe to this price, which was the last pivots for area that I had. Comes back a little deeper. I'm still in the game. And at this point, maybe I'm looking to get out. I'm looking to get out here. It's probably gonna come back a little deeper. Maybe give us something like that. Let's see what happens. And it comes back just a little deeper and then slams right back down, which is cool. Fine, perfect. You can tell if you didn't get out of that trade or you're still in it, you got stopped out, you can see that it was starting to make something going on right here, a bit of a swap zone. Let me see if I can clean this up. There's a bit of a swap zone here, so you can see that support, and then resistance, and resistance. So a bit of a swap zone there. So I held the swap zone shorts and then came all the way down here to test 43.30, and let's see if we're not gonna test these pivots. There's something going on here. Let's see if we can't just something. It's pretty big. It's pretty big area of a price for it to try to test, but we do have these pivots down here and then touching that. So maybe you just want to do kind of messing with it until I get something like that, and then we could just use this as an overrun. It's okay. And then we touch support here, so we'll see what it wants to do. You can see the support, it's acting as support, I guess. So we got this V shape, we get another V shape, so we might just come back up to test this price one more time, and we're at this point we're just kind of ranging between these. Let's see if we break, then we break. That'd be cool. And we don't break, and we go up one more time, and we go back down. So you don't want to be stuck in this mess. You want to let it decide with something, with some conviction, with something that you recognize, and break some pivots. And finally we break out of that choppiness area. This is pretty choppiness area. So I'm looking for this short right here. Maybe you got in a little too early. There's a bit of a slowdown right there. Let's see if we can actually probably get on the second slowdown. And nope, that did not work. So I was hoping that maybe we can take a short somewhere here and come back all the way down, which doesn't work. And it holds these pivots kind of one more time. These pivots one more time. Then we do have a target down here, 53.20, which pretty much already reached. Oh, not really. Missed it by a few points. Then come back up, then come back down. Still holding this as resistance. So this was some pretty good resistance, and then held that. So we have a strong run at that. Even stronger run down. We print our target here. And now we definitely know that we're going lower. Maybe if we could take one more short before the day ends. 4,300 is below, and 53.10. So 53.10 maybe with the target, but we know at this point that shorts pre-market. So this is Friday. Oof, that's a lot of work right there. Okay. I'm almost to the prediction or whatever to see what happens on Friday, and then we'll see what happens Monday. So this is Friday. Okay, so we're trending lower overall. Let me just go to 1,000 just so I can see the whole week. So overall, we found ourselves a bottom here, and then we have a nice strong run up. We have a nice strong run up from that bottom. And then it tried to establish some type of shelf, whether it was above 43.20 or where this blue area is, and really couldn't. Started kind of getting a little choppy in this area here. This was a little choppy. And then it finally decided after this point, yeah, we're headed down lower. So where do we think we might go? Well, this move started at 43 and actually started somewhere in this area. The move kind of started, bounced off from right there. So maybe looking to retest these prices down here on Friday. So let's go back to our normal chart, 610. There we go. And this is, oh, no, I was trying to look at. Okay, so Friday's open, blah blah blah, right here. So it's kind of looking like we want to go down a little lower. The medium momentum's to the downside. Overall momentum since Thursday, trending down lower. But it's doing it in a way where it's confusing, where it's get a run down, pretty deep pullback, another run down, pretty deep pullback, another run down. Then you're starting to get these pullbacks and a strong run down, then a strong retracement, breaking some pivots. And we'll see, this is our last high. And our last high. So it's even the price action is getting a little choppy, if you can see. Strong run down, another run down, then a deeper pullback, and then even if you zoom in, like this stuff, I don't know, it's kind of getting a little weird. You have to wait. So what's the game plan if you see this? Well, it's kind of messy, so maybe just stay out this range and wait for it to break either up higher or lower. We're just stuck in this mess. It's choppy, it's ugly, sideways. Be like this. And then this could be our overrun. And then we could just extend a little bit of a line just in case it comes back to it. Just stay out this mess because it seems like it's just oscillating between 52.20. So just oscillating this price, doing weird ass shit like this around that price. So we're just gonna wait till it moves away from that with some strength, give us a direction we can go with, or something of significance, something that we recognize. All right. So still in this choppiness area, this sideways area here, doesn't break, doesn't do anything. You're probably gonna want to stay out unless you're fading the extremes here. So maybe you want to take these longs and get out at the highs. It works until it doesn't. And then back to the bottom. Friday seemed like it's uneventful, but we are expecting, because it can't go sideways forever, so expecting a break below or above, but recognize your structure is sideways. So trading and fading the extremes are more, they are more probable and you get more for your money. And then so it just kind of does that for a while and then not really giving us anything meaningful. So it kind of just goes back. This right here, just overrun, just like how I did pre-market. Boom. So just sideways action. This is completely sideways. There's nothing you can do about this. No trading unless you're fading the extremes. And then finally we get a break. Let's see. Finally breaks not only our range, but it breaks our pivots that have been poking. And you see this right here. So it finally breaks with some strength. Shallow pullback to where these pivots were. So maybe about a short if you're fast enough with about 1.5 points maybe. And we're going lower, so we're probably gonna test 4,300 down here, 4,300, and then maybe, like I said, test these prices from where the move started, where this trend started. So right here, so that's a good short right there if you can get it fast enough. And then gives us a V-shaped reaction, breaking that pivot. And then it starts having this little shallow pullback, not breaking down below either, some strength up higher, and then we're back into what seems our sideways range. Yeah, back into a sideways range. I don't know if it's gonna break or not. And the day finally does break. So a bit of a phobo, I guess, on our sideways action. So sideways action, try to break down lower. We're seeing if we can come down here, but we didn't. Phoboed all the way up. If you saw that as a phobo, then you might want to be taking these longs here and break all the way high, but it's already end of the day, so it's fine. And so now we're Sunday night, and what might happen Monday morning? Okay, so what might happen Monday morning? Let's see. Okay, so phoboed, so sideways action. Zoom out just a little bit. This is back to 2000 here. So we had this strong run trend up, retracement, went sideways to gather its breath maybe, and we're heading up higher. So maybe Monday we're gonna want to print or at the very least retest this up here. So 5350. If you see that, let's go back here. So maybe it's gonna want to test 5350. Let's see how it's gonna get there. We're gonna have to wait till Monday morning for pre-market, but if not, if it can't break 4340, then we're headed all the way down to 4320 and lower, probably 300. So what might happen during the week is we have these two prices that the market might want to test for the week. Let's see which one it wants to choose and pick. But so far, momentum to the upside. So 53.50 is looking likely. How it's going to get there, I don't know. But we might get a deep retracement, then stabilize, then go higher, or poke through here, stabilize there at 43.40, then go higher. And if we cannot break 43.40, then maybe we're going lower, maybe sideways. But those two prices are what we're looking at for the week coming up. And that is like the weekly recap. Yeah, the weekly recap of last week. Done in an hour. That's 5 days of trading, trying to speed through that shit. And that's not really getting meticulous and getting into the nitty gritty and the details and reading every single bar. That's just reading overall movement, momentum, strong runs, and picking out what sticks out and just, whatever. But yeah, hopefully I can be trading next week live for the whole week. Yeah, I think I broke that down pretty well. There's a lot of good stuff in there, so maybe rewatch it. I know I was kind of going through that fast, but I just wanted to get that weekly recap done. All right, peace. This is the what do I call myself? I forgot what I call myself. This is the bad day trader, okay? I suck ass. Don't listen to me. Peace.